The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
I think it's
Monday
great.
night, the debate.
Yeah.
I have not spoken to you about this
No.
at all.
No, you haven't. Right.
Let's break it down together, man, because I've got my feelings about it too. What are you thinking?
What I'm thinking is, and I got a chance to get to the bullet points of it all, not to use the word bullet points, considering President Trump actually almost lost his life recently due to a bullet. I found that when it comes to it's not about the issues anymore. And that I find that very sad. All right. Because we're not being sold by the media anything about issues. It's a popularity contest. Who's a good guy and who's a bad guy? And that's garbage to me, because as far as key important issues that matter to me, he slaughtered her. She doesn't have any bullet points. She has nothing. She doesn't give me anything I can grab. So spell it out for me. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I saw a grid today that everything is up over the last 4 years. You know, I want to be able to afford to eat. Okay. I don't want to be like, strung out to dry. And there's no answers coming from her. I find it hilarious that, and I don't know how the network got away with this. I guess they write their own rules. The very thing they probably try to say Trump does. Having the interview panel, did or did not one of those two was part of the same sorority as Kamala? What's going on here? Is that true? I mean, I heard that was like when you have a setup from the interviewers on a setup network, and to Don's credit, he didn't turn it down. They would have turned it down if it was the other way around. I'm not going on that. It's going to be a witch hunt, blah, blah, blah. But to his credit, as usual, like someone who stands up after they've been shot in the ear, and puts their fist in the air, he went and did it. I give him credit. As far as the issues go, he continued to say what I want to hear. Bottom line, because I'm judging them on issues. I don't give a crap about their personalities. I don't know either one of them. I have no reason to just side with one side over the other. It's what they're talking about that's important, that matters. And basic American cost of living has gone through the fucking roof. Period. Stop smiling in my face and stealing from my wallet. I don't buy a thing you're saying. And what's with the earpiece? Somebody's piping into her? I thought that's the very thing that liberal type people hated about Vince McMahon and Michael Cole. Somebody shouting in her ear what to say?
Jason Morning shouted in that he first discovered us was during one of your rants, and by that point he was hooked. Marie Dave said started watching Monty and the Pharaoh and have been into the podcast ever since. So, Jimmy, I'm going to give you my evaluation here, okay? So,
yeah,
I'm a Trump guy. We all know this. I'm a hard right Republican.
Yes, sir.
I felt Donald Trump. Okay, so first I'm going to explain my thoughts. We're losing this race, okay? When the Democrats moved Biden out of the window and brought in Kamala, it started to swing.
Says who? Says the media.
Well,
says the media that you probably read the next day. Mike, I'll give you more than enough time to continue on that. But as far as I'm concerned, they've been selling that from the moment that Kamala was placed in. Suddenly, Kamala's miraculously ahead. Donald Trump had just been shot.
Here is the thing, though, Jimmy.
Yeah.
If you believe in certain kind of conspiracy theories, for example, people feel that the last election was stolen from Donald Trump. Okay.
Okay.
Whether it's true or not, who knows? You and we're so far down on the radar, and everybody else is so far.
Yeah.
We can evaluate and think. But here was my point. Donald Trump has to change the script. All he had to do for that debate, Jimmy, hear me out on this, was talk about immigration,
right?
Talk about what Kamala hasn't done in 4 years.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that is all.
Right.
He kept going down the rabbit hole, and she was making him look like an angry old man, in my opinion. And I kept on saying, stick to what the people of America want to hear. Immigration, inflation, and basically you and your president have not done a single thing in the last 4 years. Leave it at that. Just keep pounding that home.
I agree.
But he starts going into cats. He starts going into this. And is she an Indian? Is she this? And It just made him look angry. Do I think she won the debate? No. But do I think he won the debate? No. But what I do think, Jimmy, is he lost ground from that debate because he looked like an unhinged old man. And I think he has to flip. Listen, the reason I say this is I want Donald Trump as my president.
Right.
But I'm watching it unravel in front of my eyes, and I'm like, please, someone get this. And another thing, Jimmy, I'm sorry. I know you said what you said. I felt he was unprepared for that debate. He did not have any, he just had his regular rhetoric, and he just kept spitting it out and spitting it out. He's got to change.
Well, I can see why you would want a more perfected performance from him, but as far as his rhetoric goes, his rhetoric has stayed consistent. His rhetoric is clearly much more clearly spelled out than her rhetoric. I still don't know what she stands for, other than that she represents the
No,
last
no,
4 years.
you're 100%
Which
right.
is
There's
total
nothing.
shit,
But I get it. I get
Yeah.
it, and just stick to that. Just keep
Right.
pounding it home to the
Right.
American people. Have it
Right.
engraved in their heads that you
Right.
have done nothing. I mean, I
Right.
think the best point he brought up is she wants to do all this stuff, but she knows that it's never going to happen because Congress is never going to pass it. That was a
Right.
clear, concise point. It was like, boom,
Right.
boom, shakalaka, mic drop.
Right.
Don't get
Right.
involved in that other crap, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I feel like if he had done a lot less tweeting during his presidency, he would have had a much better chance.
Well,
I
I
think
think
sometimes less said is better said.
at this point, I agree with you 100%.
Right.
I'm in fear right now. I'm in fear what can possibly
Dude,
happen to this
it's a
country.
little too late for fear because honestly, I've been in fear for years with the rhetoric of the media. This goes way back. Listen, Donald Trump is very divisive, obviously, but so is the
Mhm.
Democratic Party. And I hate the fact that, he's asked questions like, you're known for dividing races. Wait a second. What? The Democrats haven't divided people on that side? Let me tell you something. The moment that Obama made his statements on Israel, he lost me immediately. He
Mm.
divided me. He's not a divider. How Obama treated the police was not being a divider? Yeah, he's a divider. I hate the fact that nobody points out that Kamala's party are dividers too. And when they go to Trump, they make it out like he's responsible for all this division in the country. Bullshit, he's responsible. What's responsible is the ideologies of the Republican Party are different than the Democratic Party, but both are responsible for the division. It's a joke to me that Donald has to take all that heat. It reminds me of, it's much less, but it reminds me that A-Rod is the face of steroids. What, David Ortiz isn't?
Right.
David Ortiz took roids. He's on the fucking list. He's on the fucking list, but he's always loved. Oh, we love David Ortiz. Oh, he can do no wrong. And here comes Alex Trump Rodriguez. Oh, that fucking guy. Blah, 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 blah. Fucking nonsense, dude. The media is so fucking trying to control everything, and it's so fucking obvious. I could not believe the balls of the media the day that Kamala was fucking nominated. The next day, she's ahead. What do you mean she's ahead? What kind of reliable polls did you do in this country within 24 hours
So
to
let
tell
me
me that
let me ask you
freshly
something.
shot
Let,
Donald Trump is now behind her?
let me ask you something. The
Bullshit.
newspapers, the dirt sheets,
Yeah.
all this stuff. If they say it enough, you begin to believe it, and it becomes real. And
So this
that's
is-
the problem.
Okay, so I'll tell you what else has been the problem too. Guys like me have finally fucking woken up. All right, and here comes a fucking confession for everybody, for you, Mike. All my life, you know what kind of life I've led. You know I've always been a rebel. You know I've always been in rock bands. You know all that shit. But somewhere along the way, it all started to matter more to me. I finally, and I had problems in New York. I don't know why, but when I tried to fucking register to vote years back in New York, I was cock blocked in every direction because I was trying to I feel because I was trying to register as a Republican. I wanted to vote for Trump in 2016, and I got cock blocked. The only one who could back me on this story is Bart because we were trying to get me registered and they just kept, "Why do you want to register now after all these years?" I'm like, because I finally give a fuck to the point
Right.
that it means enough to me. I've watched this damn country. Look, we both saw 9/11 with our own two eyes. I was watching from a fucking rooftop, okay? It took a while for me to fucking finally come around, but the more I realized it, with all my raging over the years and all my metal and all my drugs, Ronald Reagan was a damn good president. Wait a minute, And then I
Yeah.
started thinking about shit about how the country used to be before 9/11 and all the apologies we've been giving ever since 9/11, which we should not be giving, because we've totally lost our fucking way. I'm asking everybody who gives a shit about what's truly right, our nation's borders, our fucking national security, our ability to eat, our ability to pay bills, and our ability to give a shit about each other again, do what I did. I got to Florida, I registered, and I'm going to vote.